All right, some Mardu tokens, some Pyromancer plus Goth Pyromancer plus Lightscribe to pump up the jam. We've also got a Dreadhorde Arcanist element going on here. If you haven't seen this card paired with Silverquill Command before, it's a very powerful combination because Silverquill Command here gives +3/+3, and Dreadhorde Arcanist lets you flashback spells with less than or equal to its power. So you can Silverquill Command, give this 3/3 and flying, do something else, and then Dreadhorde Arcanist flashes back Silverquill Command. So like a comeback position you'll often be in is like Silverquill Command, make this bigger, bring a 2-drop back, recast this, draw a card, bring another 2-drop back. At the core, we're just a discard-based disruptive deck with other interaction like Lightning Helix. We've got some Cling to Dust and some Village Rites to keep the cards flowing, and we've got some Claim the Firstborn to pair with our Village Rites as well, obviously. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how this one feels today. Dreadhorde Arcanist is a very powerful card for sure. It's one that when it goes unchecked can easily run away with games. Yeah, it sounds great, right? It doesn't cast Helix when we play this on black side, but definitely going discard spell into Arcanist here. Well then. Why are discard spells so tilting, chat? Why are they so tilting? They're a tilt for everybody. They drew another castable spell. I love magic. Do 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 do. It is fun. Do 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 do. I shouldn't even cast this, right? Because I just can't attack into Questing Beast. I'm probably supposed to play Pyromancer there.
I lead the way, but my brother knows our path. You will not block our noble path.
Huh? Double Helix on the Questing Beast. That would be sweet if I was capable of casting double Helix on the Questing Beast. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and Helix this. And then I'm going to go ahead and Cling to Dust my Lightning Helix so I can draw a card. I wanted to try and hit a land drop there. We could dodge a Glory Bringer, we could dodge a ball. Flash this back. Try and hit a land drop again here. I think with the Helix, I don't need to gain 3. Super awkward draw for us here, unfortunately.
better plan for the trials ahead.
They find a dragon? What did they shock for? What could they possibly have shocked for? Ooh, Borrower's a good thought. Let's find out, huh? The big old bluff, sure. As you will. I mean, they definitely made me scratch my head for a second.
The plan is crystallizing.
Masochism. Ooh.
This day.
Well, I don't think we have to worry about a sweeper. Someone's gonna play these out, because then if we draw a Leonin Lightscribe, we can have max jam to pump up. Is that a concession, Shockland? Well, screw beats flood, as is often the case. Fracture seems pretty good against their Planeswalker deck. Vanishing Verse, they probably have. Glorybringer on top of Questing Beast. Noxious Grasp seems fine. They probably don't have that many little things that Claim the Firstborn hits. How many cards do I want to pick apart their hand versus playing to the board? Inquisition's probably an easy cut. It seems like a lot of their more important cards don't get taken by that. Maybe we just get rid of all of these and we like just bring in the Magma Sprays to kill their mana dorks. What do you think of that? Just go like max play to the board? I think I'm kind of into it. Next, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Let's give this a try. Rowaness. That is not what I was expecting to see. Do I board in, do I board in some copies of, Angrath to deal with this idiot? I've got a couple copies of Vanishing Verse we already brought in. We're definitely building around this card in Standard this week. For Standard 22. Getting to play Sedgemoor Witch in a format without Stomp sounds like everything I want to be doing. What set is AFR, the new one that's coming out? Stands for Adventures in Forgotten Realms. Man, how many lands is this deck on? It's nothing but issues so far today. I think I actually want to save Helix or something like a Rekindling Phoenix at some point. We'll go ahead and grasp the elf here. And then this has Menace, so we'll get to finish their Planeswalker. We might be able to race here with Helixes and tokens. If Stomp is their last card. Just a braid, sure. Ooh, that's pretty good. I'm loving the Pogo content. Thanks, Pretty. Yeah, I'm super excited. I ground up a ton of dust. I caught like 500 pigs the other day, so I've got room to build out a few different things. Is command lethal? No, it's not, right? It's only 7? 8. It's 8 technically, because you can make them lose a life and draw a card. That's fine. That's fine. So, if I Helix this, Magma Spray this is lethal, right? I don't even need to Magma Spray that. One is not none, chat. Impressive race here for our deck. Sedgemoor Witch is, Sedgemoor Witch's Menace being relevant as it often is. Letting us sneak in and kill things like the Chandra and such. Yeah, the life gain on the Witch tokens also being relevant, right? Like, we ended that game at 1 at one point, and the pest, we had gained a life from a pest token. Amar? No, I have a good Marowak already, Yummy. Zombies, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around while you lurk. I am doing all of the defense Deoxys raids I can get into, though, because I need one of those for Great League still. Huh. Historic is very diverse. There are a lot of different memory lapse decks. We gotta take the Ugin, because my deck can just never beat that card. And then I don't have a land drop, so I literally just can't cast a spell while they hold memory lapse up, because if they memory lapse me, I'm guaranteed to miss a land drop. Hopefully they cast Rogue Refiner here. God bless. think the fact that we missed there probably means we're dead. It's like, now the witch is gonna get lapsed. Tom Tracy, thank you for the tier 2 and for the 63 months. 5 years is a long time. One of the OGs. I would just like to say, as I look at this card that looks at 6 cards randomly off the top of my opponent's deck and possibly does nothing or possibly wins the game, can you believe that they added die rolls to Magic the Gathering? This incredibly low variance game that in no way resembled gambling before they introduced the die roll mechanic. Now there's dice that are just going to be randomly deciding the outcomes of my Magic games. Completely unacceptable, chat. It's unreal. Unreal, unacceptable. Wow! Fabled Passage giving the 6th energy for the Aetherworks Marvel. Man, fetch lands really ruin everything, don't they? Actually just ruin everything. And decks, so we actually just hit a ladder up spot, so I'm actually just gonna go ahead and concede this matchup. Decks like what the opponent's playing are a big part of why discard-based mid-range decks like what we're currently playing have been largely pushed out of Historic. The Brainstorm-based combo decks mean that Thoughtseize and Inquisition and other discard spells aren't meaningful disruption in this format because your opponent can basically always top deck back into their combo because of the powerful card selection. It's one of the reasons why you've seen like traditional red-black Arcanists get pushed out and stuff like that, because there's just too many miscellaneous I think this deck that we're playing actually does pretty well into things like Jeskai control and a lot of the other stuff in this format, but the Brainstorm combo decks just completely dumpster it. Really solid curve here. Discard spell, Arcanist, Sedgemoor Witch. Whoa, 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 Nor. You can't just add context to me bitching about D20s being involved in my Magic the Gathering. I'm not here to listen to the facts, like the outcomes are all very similar and there's only a 5% chance of getting a slightly better outcome. You can't, this is 2021. I can't let the facts get in the way of a good story and me bitching on social media. Come on now, how am I supposed to farm likes and retweets and upvotes if I look at the data and consider this reasonably? Somebody needs to think about the upvotes, chat. Alright, we're gonna lead on Witch here, which could get Mystic disputed, but if this gets disputed, I'm gonna get to Flashback Inquisition, so it leaves us in a pretty decent spot either way here. Oh, they have main deck Cling to Dust. That's really good. Do I have a basic land in my deck? I think we're about to find out if Past Jeff put a basic land in this deck. There is one swamp in my deck. Thank you, Tapped Out. We'll wait for the opponent to pay some life here. And we'll go ahead and sacrifice this to this. Man, we are really bad at drawing lands today, huh? How many lands are in this deck in general? We have 23. I guess we have a number of cantrips too. It might be low. Maybe I want one more land.
If you wish to meditate and prepare.
Second main deck Cling to Dust. Third main deck Cling to Dust. We're also playing 3 main deck Cling to Dust, so you know, Spider-Man meme here, I suppose. I wonder if they're on sweepers. Seems like they're mostly creatureless control, so I'd wager there's rituals or languishes or something hiding out on the opponent's side over there. Would not be surprised to see our board go away. Unfortunate that we don't have a 4th land, so we can't Village Rites in response to a sweeper, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, that means no sweeper. And then we should be able to kill Narset next turn. Thoughtseize. No, I wanted to draw Thoughtseize. I didn't want you to cast Thoughtseize, opponent. Sorry, Arena was confused. Alright, so we know they don't have a sweeper in hand, so I'm gonna play the Lightscribe so we can try and push lethal next turn. I'll try and draw land tier 2. Cling your cling, yo dog. Not the Black Source hold up Village Rites that I wanted. Yeah, mono white is like the known best deck going into the Hoots tournament for sure. Faceless Haven will still be legal. Honestly, mono aggressive decks with creature lands in general, like most of the creature lands out of this expansion look pretty playable. Oh, I've commenced the end game, all right, opponent. Alright, so Duress looks good. Claim seems bad. Honestly, all the Planeswalkers sound great. This can deal with their clings. Helix is probably kinda whatever. I guess this finishes Narset and it's a little bit of reach. Maybe I'm supposed to trim a Village Rites since they have so many Narsets. It's nice to, like, respond to their removal with, but it's really bad against their Narset. Let's try this kind of coward split, what we're trimming here at the end. Yeah, they're definitely going to have more sweepers post-board. We brought in a couple more discard spells to help fight through those. This is where the magic happens, chat. Brainstorming like it's going out of style. What's going on, Laughing Riot? Thanks for 13 months. BT Dubs. I haven't had anyone comment on it, so I assume it's a mostly neutral change. But how do we feel about the location of the sub notifications now? Since I don't have ad banners anymore, I put them down in the corner instead of like up in the middle of the battlefield. I think they're better a little bit more out of the way, but... Manju. There you go. There's one now. Thanks for the 17 months. It, like, doesn't cover the stack. It, like, sometimes hits my companion. I'm gonna lead on Lightscribe here and see what they do. I think it's likely to get countered or die, and I'd rather this get countered than this. Also, if they kill this, we're setting up next turn for Silverquill Command. Well, I guess I already have this in here. Yeah, I talked about it a little bit, Neil. The number one change is... So two things prompted the ad banner change. The first is that F2K restructured in a way, and I'm no longer affiliated with them. And they were one of the two ad banners I always had up on the screen. The other is that, like, I'm still, like, working with sponsors, like, having things like that, like Coalescence Apparel, who makes wonderful shirts like these, is still a stream sponsor. But honestly, the value added from having the banners on the screen, I feel like is low. I feel like a lot of people just tend to zone them out if you're not actively talking about them. And if I'm going to be actively talking about them to make sure they're getting shilled, why do I need them on the interface to clutter things up to begin with? It's like my TLDR, basically. Thanks for the follow, Wednesday.
I'm sorry, was that dear to you?
I think if we get a game 3, I'm going to bring in Fracture, because it kills Narset, and like hard cast Shark Typhoon could be a concern.
Not dead yet. Try harder.
Well, I mean, sometimes lucky.
You better watch your back from here on out.
Kaya's ultimate eventually kills them.
Open mind.
Yeah, and there's that Shark Typhoon I hinted at a second ago being concerned about. They could cycle it here to kill the Kaya, though. They don't know that we don't have answers. for the 2/3 of a year, Master. Welcome back. So they've got 3 cards to our Cling plus Wellspring plus Witch. Need 1 more card in the bin to escape Cling, so when they murder the Witch, we'll be able to get there. It's our best draw at this point. One of our Planeswalkers. Angrath specifically, probably.
I have practiced against many foes. I have just the trick for this.
We'll do this, plus draw the Moose here. Got me. Yeah, Narset find Narset is big dig into my dig energy. A lot of Legion's End. I guess this card's pretty good against the Auras deck, which was popular last season.
Hone your prowess.
Yes, Jegantha probably buries us here, even with our few Kaya activations. We have 8 cards in their bin already. Well... oh, we're halfway there. Oh, Angrath on a chair. Take this shark and whack your Narset. No, I lost it. I lost it, chat. We were doing okay there for a second, but it kills the shark. It makes Narset not impulse again. They've got looks with this, so there's a good chance we don't untap with our boy.
No fire.
No steel. Hey, commit my Angrath end of turn here. Yeah, they're looking at my Cling. That's why I didn't cast the Moose. So if they commit the Moose, they commit our Bull. So I'm conceding because them clinging my Cling, I can Cling in response, but then they commit my thing, and then they have Narset in place. They get to flashback memory, and they get 7 cards, and I only have 1. All right, so I'm gonna put these fractures in. I'm gonna cut these helixes out. I'm gonna click submit. I'm gonna take their Search for Jegantha here, because all the rest of their fucking just unreal lucky. All the rest of their cards basically do the same thing. So I'd rather take their card that generates Sometimes Lucky myself. I'd rather take their card that generates card advantage, rather than their cards that just like all 1-for-1 me a bunch. And this is exactly why I kept the 3 lands. These matches are basically just dick punching contests where you just like go back and forth. And just like everybody empties their hand and we just have to like come down to top decks. I don't know. Narset just like doesn't. I agree with you that like prison planeswalkers and cards kind of suck, but like Narset doesn't even really see that much play. Like even the Jeskai control decks these days don't play that many copies of her. So it's like hard to justify from a power level perspective. Dick punching contest is a way to say it's painful and not pleasant for anybody, Drunk Owl. Are we gonna wrap up today? I don't think so. I think we still got a bit left. It's a great draw as far as lands go. There's also a DLC for Spider-Man that I think is supposed to add another 8 to 10 hours, so. What's up, dude? Here to steal my water? Alright, well, oh, I don't have enough cards in here, Sedge.
Sorry. You have no heart. Sorry. Yeah.
Well. My legion is endless. The castle has a limitless supply. What's up, dude? I mean, the Team Morocco deck is fine. I did eat those pancakes, yep. You know, maybe I was supposed to... No, I'm one land short of activate castle plus Silverquill Command. Okay, hey, you all... I'm gonna go lock my door really quick. Ugh. I don't mind when my own children come in, but one of our friends is staying with us for a few days so the kids can play and we can hang out, and I don't want their kids on stream. Wall idiot, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Alright, let's go ahead and do 3/3 and draw a card. For a second, I thought Haley grew up real fast. Not quite. Let's actually put this one in the bin. No fire, no steel. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 mana. So can't Angrath and Castle. Sedge.
If you're just fuel for the fires of freedom, cur.
We'll keep this in hand in case they draw a discard spell and want to play it. White Castle is so much better than Locthwain in this matchup. They just don't have that much life to work with, and we get to pressure them with this one. No! Reed. Our swamp is in play also. Well, there's our last friend. Drawing when they only have 2 mana available seems a little loose on their part. With the Angrath sitting in play.
No steel.
Alright. So I need 2 pieces of removal here, and they only have... I guess they technically have 2 cards. They can hit another Extinction event, I suppose. Doesn't look like it.
No fire. No
Get up.
steel.
Give him the horns, Angrath. Yeah, our Marduki pile climbing on up. Angrath's my boy. Death by Flame. He's a planeswalker I wish they'd revisit. It's kind of weird to me how they keep adding new planeswalkers to Magic when they have such this vast pool of planeswalkers that they've only printed very infrequently. Like, when are we gonna get a second Koth, for example? So I think I take the Prismari command, because I want to be able to... I could Dreadhorde Arcanist take this one. Hopefully we draw an untapped land next turn and get to go Witch and Inquisition. Like I mentioned earlier when we were playing against the Marvel deck, I do think this type of matchup is very hard for us. Playing a little bit with fire here, because if they draw a way to kill my Arcanist this turn, they get to go Dwarven Mine into Creativity combo next turn, but I guess they might. They're probably the Creativity build that needs 2 targets, so maybe that's not true. The Coma build's gone around a little bit, but the more popular one is the what's it called build that I'm blanking on. I think I'm just passing here, because I don't really want to play into a sweeper if I can avoid it. The Locust God variation is more popular. The actual Greenlands potentially signal Coma. Okay. Dope. Opponent hasn't attacked, down to 12, just Thoughtseize things. When will our opponent have thoughts to seize, chat? When? I draw a Shark Typhoon here. Can they still win if you kill Locust, God, or Sage in the stack? Not usually. We're gonna bring in our spot removal. They're also, I think the person that commented the green sources imply Coma, the Stomping Ground specifically, is correct. Is that the first spell they've cast this game? I think it was, right? Yep, confirmed Coma build. So they're just dead. Are they dead? So I Silverquill Command, make them sacrifice, give Arcanist 3/3. They sack the dwarf token, they use Coma to tap Dreadhorde Arcanist, and then I only hit them for 4. I don't think they're dead here. I think we... Sedgemoor Witch plus Pyromancer and just try and go wide here. I think with both of these and like some okay draws, we can go wide around this. Especially with Lightscribe. Why did they tap the Arcanist? Weird. Obviously dead to a red sweeper here. Not a whole lot we could do about that. Okay. Man. I think I have to block this because I don't want to die to a Prismari command. And your memory lapse? Alright, one more brick and they're dead. They're dead on board to cling to dust. Well, I mean, they are technically not dead on board anymore. Frenzied Mage, did I miss your 41? If I did, I'm sorry. Welcome back. So Claim the Firstborn's pretty bad here, obviously. Duress is fine. It's actually, I've got a really unfortunate mix of answers in my sideboard. Maybe I don't know that I want Despark. Despark would be the ideal for this Coma deck, but maybe Despark is better than Fracture at this current moment in time. Could see that. Vanishing Verse kills dwarves and sharks. Yeah, that's true. Helix does that too, though, right? And this is reach, which is nice. Being able to jump up and kill them is important. Five mana Kaya answers Coma. Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like we got pretty lucky to win through the Coma there. Like, our opponent flooded out pretty bad. Yeah, maybe we'll swap Fracture to Despark after this match. Probably reasonable place to be. Well, I mean, just sharks all the way down, chat. Stormy with a high chance of sharks. All right, well, they didn't immediately draw Creativity or Mizzix Mastery. So we've got that going for us. I'm going to attack with the 1/1 token here to encourage them to cycle the Shark Typhoon. We'll Village Rites the token when they go to block it, and then if we draw a discard spell off the Village Rites, we can take a peek at their hand before next turn. So this basically forces them to do their cantrip before the end of our turn. So if we draw a discard spell, we could possibly take like a Creativity here. This is where the magic happens. To draw like Running Helix here. This with Helix would have also done it, but we just drew another land instead. They're not dead here because Koma can tap my Sedgemoor Witch. Oh, wait. Tapping the Sedgemoor. Oh, wait. Chat, I missed lethal. Chat, I missed lethal. I forgot about Ward, chat. I forgot about Ward. Ugh. I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, they just tapped this, so I need to draw something. Man, we would have beat the Coma again. Spell or ability. It's fine. We've got Silverquill Commands and Helixes that still get us back in here, huh? We've cast 1 Helix, 1 Silverquill Command, so we've got 6 live draws and 40 cards. And for people that aren't seeing what I mean when I say I miss lethal, I could have made them draw a card and lose a life. 2 Beer, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I deserve that. All right, game 3 on the play. Based on the game 1 flood, you should triple land. Yeah, something like that. Alright, so we'll take Dragonfire. Then we'll play Arcanist here on 2. And we can double Thoughtseize on 3. The problem is we were down to 5 cards, so we don't really have a clock here. They also get to Brainstorm in response. They just draw another Scorching Dragonfire. No, it doesn't look like it. I think this is a spell. Taking the anger here, because I don't want them to be able to kill Dreadhorde Arcanist if we can avoid it. They can Brainstorm in response to this Thoughtseize, but I've got 2 Thoughtseizes in the bin, so let's go. Is the Savai Triome a spell? I guess it might be a land. Okay, so we know the top 2 cards of their deck are Magma Opus plus 1 more. What was the other spell? Plus Nazal. So I will skip flashing back a discard spell this turn, because they'll simply cycle the Magma Opus in response, and I'll miss again. And then next turn we'll flash back Thoughtseize, because this is an Azal on top. So our graveyard's pretty empty here, so we'll flash back the Cling. Get a cantrip in this turn. And prioritizing taking instants out of their bin on the, like, incredible off chance that they're playing Torrential Gearhulk. Looks like they have a mix of things. I assume they're gonna cycle the Ketria Triome here. Oh, really? Huh. So we'll take the Nazal with the Thoughtseize, and then we'll play Wellspring this turn. So we're going to try and cycle for a Scorching Dragonfire, another interactive spell here. They could find something like Memory Lapse. They are only 1 mana away from casting Magma Opus. Yeah, Runeterra did a really big balance patch last week, and we dipped back in, and it was fairly reasonable. We've played a couple of times since then, so I'm going to sprinkle in a few hours of it here and there as the schedule permits. And check the playlist on the YouTube channel. There's a few deck videos up for it already. It's not going to be an everyday type thing, but a couple days a week probably, I think. So they drew a 3rd copy of Magma Opus. And they want to kill Wellspring. They're going to shock this in here in a second. Oh, they drew Mizzix Mastery, sure. Oh yeah, opponent punted. I missed that they could have overloaded. You're right, they had 8 mana. They definitely could have just killed us outright with overload. Thanks for the 16 months revenge. I'm glad you're enjoying Zoe Fizz. Yeah, I was going through cards from the most recent set for the deck, and that one popped out to me. God, for fuck's sake. Oh, that's a good draw, right? So this says 3/3, you sack a creature. And then if they go to tap this, they have to sacrifice the Coma. This kills the Coma here at least. Coma, chameleon. And if they don't sack to tap the Arcanist gets to flash back the Silverquill Command, killing the Coma anyways. So, they saw the line, but we got the thing off the table. Yeah, Silverquill Command with Arcanist is very good. If you haven't seen this deck before, that means you haven't taken a second to check out the many historic decks that are up on my website. You should definitely do that. Lot of bangers up there. Like this one. Oh, you know what? I should have exiled the second Anger there. I was thinking they have 2 of them, but they could totally... We're talking about them overloading. If they draw an overload one. Oh, I guess they have Prismari Command anyway, so they get the board regardless. Well, some good top decks on both sides here. Definitely feel like we got a little bit... lucky to win that one. Let's put a couple of Desparks in the board over Fracture. Yeah, I punted lethal in the second game. We also mulliganed to 5 in that one, right? If I recall correctly. Fix this real quick. I hate this stupid best of one sideboard is so obnoxious. You don't keep all the cards together. It like lists Magma Spray twice when you export the deck, which foobars some deck import sites on occasion. I'm gonna play 1 or 2 more matches with this. We have a quick one. We'll probably do 2 more. And after we wrap this one up, we're gonna play, Don't yell at me, I spilled the popcorn.
What the hell?
I tried to put in the garbage can and I missed.
Clearly.
I'll vacuum later.
Sure you will.
Chat didn't know I made a mess, and now chat knows I made a mess.
I've met you.
Way to embarrass me in front of chat, Christy.
I'll vacuum later.
Enough, Matt. Thanks for the prime. I appreciate it. There might be popcorn mess all over the floor to my right. I bought him Helix in the dark. I don't know what they're doing. They could be an aggro deck. Am I on the draw? How do I know if I'm on the draw, chat? Does the glowy light on me mean I'm on the play? I can't tell. No, it's opponent's turn. Damn it. Oh, you know what I should do? I forgot I should just reference the game log to find out whose turn it is. Oh, wait. Brick, 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 brick. I don't know that we can beat the land out of them. We like some pretty insane top decks from here. Gold Norio Mini. For the 18 months, welcome back. Oh, right, they drew running land, so they get to play both of them here. Feels magic, man. The worst part about playing discard spells, you know how lucky your opponents are. I don't think we have any comeback mechanic from here, right? Why did they... I'm so confused. Yeah, I think they forgot their Legion War bosses to attack. If I drew a Pyromancer this turn, could we have survived? I would have played Pyromancer. I would have Helixed to War Boss. We would have gone to 5. I would have had 2 4 blockers to their... Yeah, Pyromancer would have saved us. Unfortunately, we did not draw one of those because we are not as lucky as Runner. And get all of our cheap removal in... Cling to Dust is not particularly exciting. Vanishing Verse seems good. I think we have to leave Thoughtseize in this matchup because we just, like, don't beat Muxus in most situations. We'll bring in our other cheap removal and hope to just race them a little bit. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to play an untapped Vantage on 1 here because if they play a 1-drop, I want to Magma Spray it into Arcanist. One's got a kind of interesting build of Goblins. Fanatical Firebrand's not one you typically see from them. They also have... What's it called? 4 mana Chandra in their main deck. Yeah, Legion War Boss doesn't usually see play either. Yeah, I wonder if they are on Muxus. It's a good question. Good chat. Good chat. Yeah, I think you're right that we had lethal, because we get to Helix, Arcanist, Flashback, Helix, plus have a token. I didn't count. The opponent felt like we were close enough to lethal. The open is going to be 4-set standard grapple, yep. And Thursday and Friday, they're giving us a 4-set standard queue on the client. So Thursday and Friday stream are going to be all 4-set standard brews. The double Helix was 14 alone. Yeah, that sounds right, because we had 4 creatures, so each one is 7. No, I think counting Magma Spraying our own thing, we're over 21, because each Helix was 7, and then Magma Spray was 4 is 18, plus the base attack on things. Maget, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. The queue they're putting in client is best of 1. Magic Arena doesn't support best of 3. Come on now. It's only there because Magic Boomers would riot if they got rid of it altogether. I think we mulligan this. It has Helix, but the rest of it's pretty slow and clunky. These Dreadhorde Arcanists aren't doing anything. Yeah, this is fine. Thanks for the Prime Jenkins. I like Lightscribe too. If you haven't seen the Naya Magecraft deck we've played a little bit of, I almost played that one today, but I decided to play discard spells instead. Hikaru, thank you for the follow. I think that's also a great Lightscribe deck. Yeah, huh? They might not be a. They might just be like a Krenko mid-range Goblins deck. It's kind of neat. Well, all the things in our hand are about to die, but when the dust settles, there should be a moose left standing, so we've got that going for us. The moose is ready to be set loose, chat. So Pyromancer is probably going to be the shocking demise here. They might Scorching Dragonfire to exile it. Yes, Omnath remains banned in Standard 2022. Omnath is the only banned card that's not rotating, right? Can anybody correct me if I'm wrong on that? Imagine getting through 4 standard sets and only banning 1 card, chat. That's heckin' weird. It's not how this is supposed to work. In fact, I think if I look at the standard channel in the subs Discord, yes, the topic description in the standard channel in the subs Discord is rotating at the speed of bans, which is painfully accurate. Alright, so who would I rather throw under a bus for this last Scorching Dragonfire? I think Leonin Lightscribe looks like a nicer speed bump than Sedgemoor Witch. 6 bans from Eldraine, 1 from Theros, 1 from Xehanort. Nice. That, speaking of noise, now we'll definitely play this, that way when they try and Scorch, we can perform some rituals here. Red Source is a great pickup here. Should be firmly in the driver's seat at this point. Watch him have something wacky like an Anger of the Gods. I don't think they're a Muxus deck, which is hopefully not famous last words. Like, they had so much interaction, like, Planeswalkers like Chandra and stuff. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Pelly. They boarded in a bunch of interaction to try and go along with us, and I think they were definitely supposed to be the beatdown. I think I'm pretty happy with where this is at. I like the addition of Despark over the Fractures. I'll have to update the list on my site to reflect that. Despark, between Despark, Magma Spray, and Vanishing Verse, this deck has a ton of ways to exile Phoenixes post-board to make those not be threats you really have to deal with. So those on top of Cling to Dust gives you a pretty reasonable matchup there for your fair deck. I just love, like, this combination of cards is so great. Like, this card getting to randomly pump things up is really powerful, and Silverquill Command with Dreadhorde Arcanist was excellent. Really, really complicated card that does just a lot of things in a lot of situations. This is a card I'm excited to play with in Standard 22 as well. Just a lot of really sweet, flexible modes, like Reach, grinds a little bit, Touch of Interaction, just does everything I kind of want to do in a Magic card. At any rate, that's going to wrap up on Historic for today. For people that don't follow me on Twitter or don't check out my schedule, the schedule is going to be a little bit different for the rest of the week. So tomorrow, we're actually not going to be playing any Magic Arena. We're going to do some Modern in the morning to play a little bit of Magic. But we're going to do a constructed set review, usually about 9 to 9:30. The full set spoiler goes up, or if we might get it today even, I'm not sure. But we're going to do a constructed set review. If you haven't seen my set reviews before, instead of going through actual every card in the set, I'm going to pull out just the cards that I think will be impactful in Standard 22 or possibly Historic and Modern, and we'll just talk about those, and we'll just ignore the draft chaff. And then we're going to start doing some deck building so we can put together some standard decks for Thursday and Friday. The patch drops about 10 a.m. on Thursday. All day Thursday and Friday, we're going to play a bunch of different Standard 22 decks. I am taking formal deck submissions if you want to donate to guaranteed something gets played, but I'm also just looking for ideas to build and brew around. So if you're someone that has a deck idea, even if you don't want to donate for it, feel free to tag me in the subs Discord with deck ideas for things that I'm looking to poke at. I think I've got 2 or 3 queued up that we're guaranteed going to do, but I'm also going to be looking to fill in with different ideas from different spots. At any rate, I am going to be playing a little bit of Runeterra and then Spider-Man to wrap things out today. So I'm going to go ahead and get that one loaded up. And then Historic, will probably be back with more Historic next week at some point, but also, if I'm being honest, if Standard 22 is fun in the best of 1 queue, I'm probably going to focus on that for a little bit, because Historic's very blue dubba dee dubba die.